Thank you for plugging into this Family Life News podcast, streaming issues-driven, family-focused news.
Breaking news this week regarding how to balance gender transformation rights, parental rights, and with all the different laws in all the different states, states' rights too. Welcome to Faith Under Fire, our weekly examination of cultural issues making the news. I'm Greg Gillespie. This Tuesday, the parental rights organization Our Watch sued the state of California over proposed legislation which is working its way through the state Senate there. I spoke Tuesday with the group's attorney, Mariah Gandero, hours after the complaint went to court.
Well, the law essentially attempts to tell the parents of other states that California is best suited to raise their children. It was introduced by Senator Scott Weiner in response to legislation in conservative states like Alabama and Texas banning transgender surgeries or labeling them as child abuse. And so it allows children from other states to flee to California to get these types of surgeries without parental consent. And it also denies the right of parents to access their child's medical information. And then also, equally disturbing is it gives California emergency jurisdiction over a child who appears in the state and is unable to obtain gender-affirming care in the child's home state. And so typically, custody determinations are made in a child's home state. But this law creates a carve-out exception, allowing children who are going to California for the purpose of obtaining gender-affirming care. It allows California to retain emergency jurisdiction over that child.
What is it that is the core of your case? What makes this an improper law that you're trusting the court to overrule?
Well, the core of this case is the 14th Amendment, the right of parents to direct and control the upbringing of their child. This is one of the most fundamental rights and one of the most important rights right now. It's being under attack a lot, and so that's what is at the core of this lawsuit. We want to enjoin it. We want to declare it unconstitutional because it is a direct affront to parental rights. I don't think there's any debate. I mean, this is essentially saying, parents, you're not involved. If a kid comes here wanting to seek surgery, we're going to deny you access to any information. That is a violation of that parent's rights. And then also, what's very concerning about this bill is it also tramples on state rights. There's something called the Full Faith and Credit Clause in the United States Constitution. States are supposed to acknowledge the rights of other states and defer to them in regards to issues like child custody. But this law essentially says, no, we don't like the laws of other states like Alabama and Texas. We're going to create our own law seeking to undermine those laws. This is a very concerning and dangerous bill, the fact that it will encourage children to flee other states. And as many of us know, children are very vulnerable. Children suffering with gender dysphoria, they often have other types of psychological issues. So it's wrong to deny parents the ability to help their child and be involved in this type of decision-making, because we have come to find out that there are many children who regret their decision. So that's why we want to make sure parents are involved.
I remember when Amber Alerts were a new thing, and the question of human trafficking has come up with people coming across the southern border from Mexico. But here we have the state of California. Is it unfair to say trafficking children, hiding them from where they were, letting runaways be held by people who are not their parents and not law enforcement?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's another issue that's concerning about this bill is, yes, it could open up human trafficking. It encourages kids to flee from other states without any type of parental supervision. So absolutely, it's dangerous in that regard.
Our guest on Family Life, attorney Mariah Gundero. At issue is proposed legislation in California that is called Senate Bill 107, which would make California a transgender sanctuary state. Mariah, from your professional standpoint, what has happened in this society that explains how issues surrounding transgenderism have become so prominent so quickly?
That is a really good question. You know, I was actually thinking about it a lot this weekend, and I think really what a lot of this comes down to is, one, just an attack on identity. You know, God's design and identity for people. I think we're kind of running into an identity crisis in our culture, right? Where people are longing for identity. And also, too, unfortunately, people are exploiting children, and even parents are exploiting their own children for attention, because now the culture is promoting these individuals. They're pushing it.
Where does the court case go from here?
Yes, so we just filed a lawsuit, and usually that takes 30 days for the other side to respond to the lawsuit. We're also going to be filing a preliminary injunction. So we're going to be asking the judge to preliminarily enjoin the bill till an adjudication is made in the case.
Mariah Gundero, who this Tuesday sued the state of California regarding a bill which, if it becomes state law and if a court doesn't stop it, would allow children from other states to be in California to receive surgeries, puberty blockers, hormone treatments, and other cross-gender medical procedures, all without permission from those minors' parents. The California Attorney General's office would be the entity to respond to that suit in court and to fight the request for an injunction if they choose to do so. Family Life News has reached out to the California AG's office for their comments. We will air their response once we receive it. Faith Under Fire airs on the radio and online during our noon report. On Thursdays, you can also listen to or subscribe to Faith Under Fire and related bonus content from the news podcast page at familylife.org. I'm Greg Gillespie, Family Life News.